Should the Arizona Cardinals take a look at Jaire Alexander? Do they need more help? And what should their approach be for free agency up until week one? Let's discuss.
You are Locked On Cardinals, your daily Arizona Cardinals podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Locked On Cardinals, Alex Clancy here. Follow me on Twitter at Clancy's Corner. Follow the podcast at Locked On AC Cards. Thank you for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen, free wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Please go to the YouTube channel, search Locked On Arizona Cardinals, hit that subscribe button, man, turn notifications on, leave a like. You know the drill. This post-June 1 designation is about 8 days old, where teams can cut players, save money on their salary cap, and other teams can scoop them up. Team players are cut for various reasons: injuries, making too much money, whatever it is, differences with theoretical differences with coaching staff, whatever it may be, cap casualties. And there is going to be some names popping up really over the next couple weeks. The Cardinals roster is pretty full. Seems to be ready to rock, but who knows what names will come up. Jaire Alexander was cut by the Green Bay Packers today. I'll discuss him if the Cardinals should give him a look. Do the Cardinals need more help? Are they ready to rip? And I have an interesting thought that I'm going to mention today, but really hit hard next show regarding the Cardinals' approach towards free agency, not just this year for the remainder, of the offseason, but going into next year as well. Should be fun to talk about. Again, go to the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. We're 70 away from 4K. Tell your friends. If you watch and you're not subscribed, subscribe. It's just a click of a button. Okay, so should the Cardinals go after Jaire Alexander? Should they bring him in? Should they even scratch the surface on what it would look like with him wearing an Arizona Cardinals uniform? No. No. And when I saw the original report earlier this morning from Ian Rappaport and others around the NFL, first thought was, well, he probably helped the room. But with many names that, I discuss is like, whenever there's a free agent, it's like, could that player help the Cardinals? If it's a yes, it's like, well, let's talk about it. In this case, he's oft injured. This was the guy that got away out of Louisville. Cardinals were mocked to take him when he came out 7 years ago. They went a different direction, naturally, because, Steve Keim doesn't draft for need or really with any sort of, real and I can talk about Steve Keim here because it was years of the past. This was way before. It's not talking about what's going on now. He had a couple really, really good years. Got paid a lot of cheese a couple years ago. And, he's been injured. And the Packers roster is just weird. It's like they've got these high draft picks. And, they had Rashawn Gary and other guys. And, they've been good, but they haven't been really, really good with the players that they've had. And they've got 48 wide receivers. It's a weird thing. Brian Gutekunst does a good job. Not having an owner there is their main downfall. It just is. Oh, let's give everybody in Green Bay a share. And it's 40. It's like, who cares? Is this a Disney movie? Is this a Disney movie? Anyways, but no. It's not. I think it's pretty obvious that the Cardinals signing him to any more than a 1 year, $2 million deal. If he wanted to come in on a prove it deal and couldn't find a job anywhere else, that's why I discuss these things. It's we don't know what the situation's going to be. We don't know what the market's going to be for players. So it's would you have the Cardinals sign Jaire Alexander for a 1 year, $4 million deal? Yeah. Oh, he's been injured. It's $4 million. Who cares? They need, if you want to solidify even more so the cornerback room, well, you got to give Max Melton time. Not if Jaire Alexander's better. Seems pretty obvious. And that's why discussing these things is I think it's a fool's errand not to discuss everything. I think it's a fool's errand not to discuss if something could be beneficial for the Cardinals, even 3% more than where they are now. It's worth a discussion. Of course, Jaire Alexander is going to get more than that. But if nobody wants to sign him because he's been injured the last couple of years and he wants to sign a prove-it deal with a chance to make a lot more money next year, you bring him in? Yeah. You have a conversation. It's just a conversation. This isn't something where it's like, oh, the Cardinals should 100% go sign him, give him $20 million a year and trade. And, it's like, what? No. Jaire Alexander's a good corner. He was looked at as the best corner in the league, or one of the best corners for like 10 minutes. 1 year, $4 million, sure. Other than that, no. It's pretty obvious. And obviously the former's not going to happen. So the answer is going to be no. But there's a bigger story at play here. We're starting to see in real time, like, what is it, June 9th? I think this is the second smart thing I've said this month. This might be a record. I'm filling my quota in week 2. We're watching the Arizona Cardinals grow up. Let me explain what I mean. I don't have kids. I might one day, but I don't have kids. So for all of the parents out there who watch and listen here, and what I've heard and whatever, I know that this is true because it's just a fact of human nature. Anyways, every time you see your kid do something new at a different age, you're watching them grow in real time. And I know that's obvious. That's a dictionary definition. That's not profound. Like, that's just what it is. With the Cardinals specifically, we're watching what they're doing in a situation that we haven't seen them in yet. And with this, under this lens, under this microscope specifically, they're good roster-wise. It puts a different angle and look on free agency. Like, if this was 2019 or 2020 even, and Jaire Alexander became a free agent, like, give him all the money. They need help. They need a flashy name. Give him all the money. Is he injured? Oh, pay him. And now, a lot of cooks in the kitchen, baby. A lot of talented cooks in the kitchen. So you're watching this in real time as the Cardinals evolve and grow, what they've done over the last 3 years. And when a name like this drops, it's like, let's roll. No need. So it's fun because, like, all of these stories, all of these things, we, media members, fans, whatever it may be, are experiencing it in real time, like watching the Arizona Cardinals growing up. And it's fun. And it's exciting. Do the Cardinals need more help? Begs the question. We'll discuss it next. This episode of Locked On Cardinals is brought to you by our friends over at Monarch Money. So, listen, do you ever check your bank account and wonder where'd all the money go? Between dining out, online shopping, entertainment, it's easy to lose track. And that's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. And Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending all in one place. So you stop just managing your money and start building wealth. When I started using Monarch, I realized just how much I was spending on food delivery. Now I budget smarter and save more. Take control over your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONNFL at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONNFL for half off your first year. So no, listen, the Cardinals should not go out and actively court Jaire Alexander. But it's for a different, it's different, It's different. Do you feel that it's different? Because it's different. And it's like, what's the depth chart going to look like now with who they've got, even with Sean Murphy-Bunting, out for the year, sadly? Is there a spot? Now, Jaire Alexander wants to come in 2-year, 10 mil, 8 mil guaranteed. It's like, how do you say no? I know he's not a scheme fit specifically. But what have we seen from Jonathan Gannon and Nick Rallis? It doesn't. What is their scheme? Cover and hit people. They've been great at positioning players in a role that will fit their exact strength and skill set. That's what they're good at. That's why they've been able to keep this team afloat. Now, the question is, do they need more help? Like, are they ready to roll? I've said a couple times, and I think it was when I was with Donnie or Tyler last week. If the Cardinals draft class didn't play in 2025, if they didn't exist, this roster would still be exponentially better than it was last year. Not only because the younger guys having another year under their belt, a full camp, things like that, but also bring in Dalvin and Josh Sweat and Calais. You know, it's going to be better. It's going to be better. Now, adding all of the young talent that the Cardinals have, it's like, do they need more help? Are they ready to roll? I don't know. And segment. Yeah, I think so. It's not. So this is the balancing act. Do you give Max Melton the baton? You're like, go get him, kid. You're playing 90% of the snaps. Because what we saw last year was promising. Okay. It wasn't a Marshawn Lattimore rookie. You remember Marshawn Lattimore with the Saints? Just, oh, you're a top 5 corner already? What? It wasn't like that. You know, obviously he's tapered off over the last couple of years. It wasn't that, but it was promising. There wasn't the what are they? Everydayers? What do I call them? There weren't the oh no moments like he shouldn't be there, which is great. And that's promising. And you've got the cocoon of Budda Baker and Jalen Thompson and Adrian Taylor-Demas, whoever's going to play strong safety this year, with Garrett Williams. Now you draft Will Johnson. You've got Starling Thomas. Like, is that insulation enough to where he can just lock up a wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 3, depending on the scheme? Or do you look at corner like it can be improved? Like, if Will Johnson just jumps in as CB1 and Max Melton can be CB, like, the Cardinals are going to have an embarrassment of riches, and it's not going to be an issue. Now, moving around other positions, could you use another pass rusher? Always. Could you use another off-ball linebacker? Yeah. I mean, that's going to be – backer is going to be the quote-unquote weak spot. I know they added a couple pieces this year. You know, you've got Zaven Collins if they want to move him back there. You've got Mac Wilson, who's been great. Like, do you need more? And I just don't think, like, unless there's this serendipitous timing where it's, you know, DJ Humphries was a name that I brought up. Like, listen, again, injured, last 2 stops, has played 10 minutes of football the last 2 years. He's a kid still. He's like 31, dude. Like, if he's healthy, he wants to come back and be a swing tackle for the Cardinals. If Kelvin Beachum, like, you're going to need another Kelvin Beachum when Kelvin Beachum isn't Kelvin Beachum anymore. What if that's DJ? But, like, it's cosmetic stuff. It's not foundation stuff. Does Keenan Allen want to come play with the Cardinals? Like, he's still a free agent, man. I don't know. I said they should stay away from – he's 33. Like, he's never been a fast dude, okay? But if you want, like, Michael Crabtree later in his year, just a possession receiver dude, could be worse than Keenan Allen. But it's cosmetic. It's not superfluous because you can never have too much talent on a roster, obviously. But, like, it's not guttural. Like, it's not this needs to happen or the Cardinals will lose a lot of games next year. That's what the last 3 years of building blocks has allowed the Cardinals to avoid. But when you see guys like Jermaine Pratt was released from the Bengals today, also, the dude's top 10 in tackles the last couple of years. That one is interesting because it's like, you know why they cut him. It's like, oh, it's not a scheme fit anymore. No, because they paid Jamar Chase and T. Higgins all of King Midas's gold. That's why. And they're probably going to they're going to try to pay Trey Hendrickson. So cap casualties are interesting because it's like, well, we want to keep you, but we can't afford to because we decided that paying 2 wide receivers was the best way to win a Super Bowl when that's legitimately never been the recipe to win. Ever. Now, you've had 2 great wide receivers who won Super Bowls. But paying like $400 million, $350 million or whatever, $300 million to 2 wide receivers, not the best. But when you look at this, like, if you told me the Cardinals didn't sign anybody else before week 1, I'd be like, cool, let's rip. If you told me that they signed a backer or they signed another offensive lineman or brought in a vet wide receiver, like, be like, okay. Obviously, it's not going to be for that. It's not going to be that financially straining. So that's why I say it's cosmetic. Like, their defense is ready, and their offense is ready. And if it shows that this offense doesn't work in 2025, we're going to be looking at a different team in 2026. There's not like, either the Cardinals' offense is going to work or it won't. They've got plenty. But if you want to add like a Keenan or whatever it is, like a vet wide receiver, okay, that's going to be more like around the beginning of camp. Beginning of, mandatory stuff where it's like you don't want to bring in a dude in like early August who has no concept of an offense. It's like, no. That's not how things work. That's what you do with like, Kazir White if you wanted to bring him back. I don't know what, like, that's a guy I would 100% bring back. It's going to be for pennies on the dollar compared to what you thought it was going to be because he's got no market. Now, this is a different iteration. Post June 1 is different. Okay, there's going to be names that pop up. Not necessarily from the Cardinals because I think they're pretty much shore up. I don't know if like Bilal Nichols and Justin Jones, like they have so many guys, which is great. You want so many guys. You want all the guys. You want so many guys. At least for this year. And then you can kind of trim it afterwards. But do they need more help? No. Would it benefit them if they found some sort of unicorn? And not a unicorn in the sense of like, how is this guy a free agent? Did people forget? No. It's like a fit at the time, not only on the field, financially, where it's like maybe the missing like just 1 extra glue guy or 2 extra glue guys for a position group, sure. But if they don't, okay, fine. Onward and upward to week 1 in New Orleans. I'm going to talk about this just briefly today, and then I'll expound tomorrow. But I almost love to show off with this, but we got to talk about Jaire Alexander just momentarily. The Cardinals should be holding auditions. What do I mean? I'll talk about it next. Please go to the YouTube channel. I'm 70 away from 4K, man. So here's the thing. Like what I mentioned early in the first thing, where you're watching the Arizona Cardinals grow up. And I'm sorry if that was kind of a rudimentary way to do it. It just came to me. Talking about kids growing up and, watching the Arizona Cardinals grow up year 3, which is really, whatever. You want to add 5 years per. It's like, this is – it's just a different – okay, this is what it is. It's an 18-year-old or a junior in – I forget when we say which college we're going to go to. I know second semester junior, like senior year, whatever, second semester junior year was the toughest because you're taking SATs and stuff. I don't know. It doesn't matter. And we're back. So this is the Arizona Cardinals have a 3.5 GPA, and they've got accepted to multiple colleges. Okay. And I'm not saying a 3.5 GPA. It's like, well, no, the Cardinals, they only won 8 games last year. How do they have a 3.5 GPA? Go with me. They now are in a situation where courting free agents is starting to become that passive income that I've been yearning for the last 5 years. Free agents never want to come to Arizona unless it's for a payday. Just what it's been. It's just what it's been. Now, if you're able to infuse that into the locomotive going downhill, that's jet fuel. That's jet fuel. And it could look many different ways. It's not just Josh Sweat, Dalvin Tomlinson, and Calais coming home. That's not like that was the S-tier version of this, okay? For this offseason specifically. But it can also be like if Keenan Allen wants to come play here, he's going to understand that he's going to be at least the third option in the pass game. But it shows growth. I think Keenan Allen's great. Keenan Allen had great games towards the end of last year when he was healthy. Plus, that was a dumpster fire in Chicago. And I'm using him as an example. I'm not saying they should. I'm saying that if he does, it just shows that things are maturing in the Valley. Things are maturing. So what the Cardinals are able to do now is audition. It's audition players, not, we'll take anybody. Need to field the roster. I'll take anybody. Being selective. Okay, Asante Samuel Jr. is a perfect example. And I know that there was an injury that came out after, like a month after the beginning of free agency. I can't remember exactly what it was. If it was a leg, I think it was some sort of leg issue. But it's like, if this was 3 years ago, oh, you were a former second-round pick, the Cardinals probably should have taken a couple years ago. Oh, no, wait. Got him. Sign him. Don't even think about it. Injury. What? La, 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 la. Need players. Oh, his dad played in the NFL? Need him. It's different. Auditioning. Being methodical. Because they have the ability, with the massive leveling up of roster, to be selective. And being selective in free agency, only all teams can be selective, but when you can shift from free agent indifference to being able to be selective with which free agents you sign, that is a massive, massive shift in everything. That can't be faked. These guys see everything. They talk to former players. They talk to coaches. They know everybody. The Arizona Cardinals have been an indifference by free agents, period. Now, they can be selective with which free agents they want to bring into their ecosystem. And if you don't think that things are changing in the Valley with the Arizona Cardinals, look at that. It's undeniable. That shift is something that is so difficult to do. And once the shift is made, that could snowball into massive, massive things for that team. This time, the Arizona Cardinals have pulled it off. And if it continues that way, we're going to be having very different conversations about a perpetually dysfunctional organization up until the last handful of years. Locked On Cardinals, your team every day. Remember, without you, there is no me. I'll talk to you tomorrow.